Hi, Assalamu alaikum and good day everyone. In this video, we'll be focusing on the nature and sampling in quantitative research. In the previous class, we have talked a lot about quantitative approach. Alright, let's do some recap. As I told you, quantitative research is like a math. Remember? It's dealing with numbers, measurable variables, and statistical analysis. Unlike qualitative studies that focus on meaning and experiences, quantitative research emphasizes objectivity and generalization. There are few variables in quantitative research, for example, like independent variable or IV, that cause changes to dependent variable. So, basically, dependent variable or DV is the results come from IV. And remember, we have learned about mediating that stand between IV and DV. Means IV has relationship with mediator and mediator also has relationship with DV, while moderating affect the strength or direction of the relationship between IV and DV. Alright, now let's look at the roles of theory in quantitative research. Since quantitative is about testing theory, that's why it is really important to have theory in a quantitative study. Quantitative research uses a deductive approach. This means you begin with theory, develop hypotheses, and test them using numerical data. A theory is a logically organized set of propositions that explains what to study, such as the key variables like IV, DV, and moderator and mediator, if any. Then, theory explains why the relationships exist. Thirdly, it predicts how one variable influences another. So it will provide you with a framework of your study. Okay, guys. Now, let's truly understand the meaning of conceptual and theoretical framework. Both serve as the foundation and roadmap for your study. A theoretical framework is derived from existing theory. It identifies, explains, and predicts relationships among variables based on established theories or models. A conceptual framework represents the expected relationships among variables in your study. It is based on the theoretical framework, but adapted to your specific research context. It shows what you think is going on, your mental map of the study. I do hope you still remember about research strategy we have discussed in class before. Let's recall on the quantitative research strategy. Quantitative research is grounded in the objectivist and positivist philosophical assumptions. Objectivism believes that reality exists independently. It's external, observable, and measurable. This means facts are not influenced by emotions or opinions. Then we move to positivism, a scientific worldview that emphasizes proof, evidence, and testing. Here, knowledge is something we can verify using mathematical or statistical methods. So, in a quantitative paradigm, we seek to discover the truth through data that can be measured and analyzed objectively. Quantitative research uses a deductive approach, which begin with an existing theory, derive a hypothesis, collect data, and then test whether the evidence supports that theory. In short, theory comes first, data follows. We confirm or reject hypotheses based on what the numbers tell us. Now let's move into sampling design in quantitative research. It refers to the blueprint or structured plan used to select a portion or sample from a larger group of population for your study. The main objectives are to reduce the cost and time of data collection, make data collection manageable and practical, obtain accurate, generalizable conclusions about the population. Instead of studying everyone in the population, which is often impossible and very time-consuming, sampling allows researchers to infer results efficiently and scientifically. Now, let's understand these terms. Target population, the total group of people you want to study. Sampling frame means the actual list or database from which the sample will be drawn. Example, HR employee list. Sampling unit, this important, means the exact participants that will be participated in your study. Sample size, the number of participants or units included in the study. Sampling error. Alright, for this one, please keep in mind. In simple terms, sampling error happens when your sample does not perfectly represent your population. A sampling error is the difference between the results obtained from the sample and the true values of the population. Okay guys, it's time to explore types of sampling design. There are two types, non-probability and probability sampling design. We'll start with non-probability sampling design. In this type of design, not everyone in the population has an equal chance of being selected. The researcher uses judgment, convenience, or accessibility to choose participants. There are four common types. 1. Convenience sampling, choosing whoever is easiest to reach, like students available during class. 2. Judgment or purposive sampling, selecting participants based on the researcher's expertise or specific criteria. 3. Quota sampling, selecting participants until a required number or quota for each category is reached. 4. Snowball sampling, using existing participants to refer others, commonly used when studying hidden or hard-to-reach populations. Next, we have probability sampling design. Here, every member of the population has a known and equal chance of being selected. This approach minimizes bias and allows researchers to generalize findings with confidence. 1. Simple random sampling. Everyone has an equal chance. Selection is completely random. 2. Systematic sampling, selecting every KTH name from a list after a random start. 3. Stratified sampling, dividing the population into subgroups or strata, such as gender or department, and sampling proportionally from each. 4. Cluster sampling, dividing the population into clusters, such as schools or regions, and randomly selecting whole clusters for study. These methods are suitable when your sampling frame, or list of population members, is well defined. The second category is the multistage design. This approach is used when the population is large and scattered. Sampling occurs in stages, for example, first by region, then by district, then by school, and finally by individual. The multistage design can involve simple random sampling at each stage, stratified sampling, or combination sampling where different methods are mixed to improve efficiency. In summary, non-probability sampling is convenient and flexible, but less generalizable. Probability sampling is systematic, objective, and statistically reliable. The choice depends on your research purpose, resources, and the accessibility of your population. Always remember, your sampling design determines the accuracy and credibility of your data. A well-chosen sample reflects the true characteristics of the population, while a poor design can distort your results. So, select wisely and justify your sampling method clearly in your research methodology chapter.